Hey, Emmaus kids, Pastor Joshua here, and I am so glad to get to make this video for you. I have been praying for you this week as you have been working on things with your VBS at home, and I hope that it has been some fun and some good learning, some good opportunities for you. And man, I just want you guys to know that I am so thankful for the way that you have been coming. Many of you have been coming to our church on Sunday mornings and sitting in the service with your parents, and you have been paying so much attention. And so I just want to thank you for how much attention you're paying and how you're obeying your parents as you sit there. Man, it has been so good to look out and see you all gathered together with us. And for those of you who haven't gotten to come do that yet, and we miss you, and we can't wait till we get together, back together with you again. Hey, today we find our story in Matthew chapter 7. And in Matthew chapter 7, Jesus tells us this story about obeying him. And Jesus says that those who listen to his words and obey him are like those who build a house upon the rocks. But those who don't obey his words are like those who build their house upon the sand. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with sand and building houses and playing even in the sand. My family was at the beach a few weeks ago, and my son and my daughter made this amazing sandcastle. I mean, it was huge. It was like the size of your kitchen table, like that big around, and it had all of these different towers on it and all of these different buildings, and it even had seashells like implanted all throughout this thing. I mean, it looked beautiful. It was so large that my daughter, who's like a grown-up, she's like 20, she could sit inside of it. I mean, it was beautiful. People were walking by and looking at it and talking about it. It was a great sandcastle, a wonderful sandcastle. It took them like almost a whole day to build this thing. And guess what happened the next morning when we came back down to the beach? The sandcastle was gone. Like they put all of this time into building it, all of this effort. It looked wonderful, but it didn't even make it through the night because overnight water came in, and as water came in from the waves, it hit the sandcastle and knocked the sandcastle down and swept it back out to the sea. And Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 through 27, that those who listen to him and obey him are like those who build their house upon the rocks. And when the rain and the wind and the waters come in, it won't knock the house over. But those who build their house upon the sand, those who disobey him, those who don't obey his word are like those who build their house upon the sand. And when the rains of life and the waters of life, the struggles, the trials, the difficult things, when all of those things come in, they will strip the sand away and leave the house crumbled and no more. And so what Jesus is telling us, guys, is that what he says to us in his Bible, in the scriptures that we have, what he tells us is very important. He has made himself known to us. And if we will read it and we will study it and we will learn it, if we will then apply it to our lives, and we build our lives upon it, think of our lives as the house, our lives as the sandcastle. If we build our lives upon the word of God that he has given to us, then it will help our lives be firm. And when temptations and struggles and hard seasons and complications and things that don't go our way come against us, even though those things might be hard, even though they might not be fun, even though they might be really, really hard at times, we will still have a foundation of hope in who Jesus is. And so, man, I encourage you to study and to read and to understand and to ask questions about who Jesus is and what his word says, and to build your lives upon that so that you will stand firm against the winds and the storms of life. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Have a great day.